What's going on, guys and gals? It is Darth, and I am back. We're in Queen's Blade Limit Break, and today I'm going to do something I haven't done in a while, and that is give a sort of an account update of sorts. It's not the traditional one I usually do where I go over power or what I'm doing in game, how I'm doing it, blah blah blah. I'm going to go over a goal that I set sometime last August or July, or probably last August when I started, but I set that goal in motion prior to that by building up a stack of summoning books. I'm talking about the arrival summonings. I set a goal of obtaining at least one copy of every warrior. Not just a copy of every warrior, at least up to a certain star level, and then rank them up to as I see fit. Now, that's a goal I started back in, I want to say August, and largely in part is because really we only had the Warrior Quest and Exchange event. If you don't know, the Warrior Quest gives you a increase in currency for having the Warrior, which you then in turn can use in the Exchange Shop. Now, the Exchange Shop went through drastic changes, several of them over the last 8 months as well, but that's not what we're going to talk about. We are going to focus in on how I'm doing with that goal, how far I've been able to get, how long it's taken me, share some thoughts on that particular process. I'm not going to go over the spicy pose, even though I did update my goal to unlock at least the first spicy pose. That is a goal, but that's an entirely different beast. And although it does play into the summoning because you have to sacrifice anywhere from 1 to 2 copies of the warrior every time you upgrade a spicy pose, that's a completely different beast. So, those who have been part of the channel, those who may have seen the video, know that that was one of my goals. So I'm going to give you an account update. Let's go in and take a look at the warriors. I always like to go to the index for this. Keep in mind that the index is not a good way of telling whether or not you have a warrior. It just says that you have obtained the warrior. Let me explain. If it's grayed out, you have never obtained a copy of it. If it's lit up, you have obtained a copy of it. Now, it doesn't account for any mishaps, like maybe you sacrificed the warrior, maybe you farewelled it accidentally, or maybe you got rid of the warrior. You used it as a fusion. It doesn't account for that, but if it's lit up, you've gotten it at least one time. So we're going to take a look at the index and the warrior in tandem. Now, there's a few disclosures here. Excluded are the ultimate warriors, even though I do have Vesper. Those who know, my girlfriend actually paid, one of my girlfriends, yes, that was plural, it didn't intend to say it singular. I did get her, and Ari was part of a promotion that they did where you use your normal summons. Every time you normal summoned, as long as you summoned enough, you could get her. There are a few other warriors as well that are pay to win, that are included to some degree, but generally would be excluded for the most part. One is Alicia. I do have Alicia, by the way. I did pay last year at some point to get a copy of her, and if you don't know, you can use shards. These shards right here, you can sacrifice 50 of them. You can obtain a copy of any warrior as long as you've already obtained them. So there is a way to get her without paying, but keep in mind that these shards started off as a pay-only option, and although you can get them, you get them so slow that unless you pay for them or get them through events, you might as well have bought them, but it's the cheaper option. In the marketplace, there is a warrior under the jewel shop, which again is a pay-only option. It's the dual twins. Interestingly enough, the dual twins did actually, on their first run, maybe even a second run, did appear in an arrival. Believe it or not, they actually did. People argue with me about that all the time. She actually did. There is one that is a complete game mode under quests, survival mode. It's a skill warrior, the alchemist. She can be obtained, you get shards by participating in this multifaceted battle. So if you're not doing this is one of those things like Sanctum you need to be doing, because you're getting shards, but you're getting, more importantly, the spicy prayer tickets depending upon how well you perform. More on that another time. So there is one other warrior that I don't include in here, and that's because she's part of this boosting fund here. So she's completely another dual attribute warrior that's completely paid to obtain. She did appear at some point, I think, in an event that you still had to pay for her to get her, but I digress. Anyways, let's go in and take a look at her. Under Mind, I have obtained every warrior. Physical, I have every warrior. Skill, every warrior. Break, I purposely did not summon for the very first SP Break warrior. I missed the events that 2 or 3 events that she's had. I did pull for the new warrior. Duel, I do not have the 2 pay, and I am missing, which I did not actually realize, because I don't use her like other people do, and that's Anolette. I do have her. I think that there are better warriors that do the same thing, which is just my opinion. Break, I do have Alicia. The pay event warrior. Skill, I do have her. Now let's go take a look at the stars. It wasn't just obtaining her. I wanted to take them up to, 8-star was my initial goal back then. I updated it to 9 because they did give us the ability to use gems to summon during the course of the event. Now things have been altered again. We'll cover this another time about how much time they continue to make changes to the summoning portion of it and the exchange shop. We'll go over that in a video probably at the start of next week. But using your gems, 8 to 9 star is what I was taking my warriors up to. So how far did I get? Well, let's actually look at my warriors here. I do have them all. Keep in mind, just about all of them, as you can see, are at 9 star. Okay? I know I'm going through this very fast, but most of them are at 9 star. A lot of them, I have extra copies of them to fuse them either up to 10 star or above. As you can see here, Amphilia, very powerful warrior in PvP, by the way. Actually, multi PvE and PvP. PvE more so when you're attacking groups. Think tower, things like that. Not necessarily bosses. I think that there are better warriors for those. But I can fuse her up. I have a lot of fusing I have to do. I can rank the fish up. These 2 I don't think I have any copies of. That's not what I wanted. Physical, same thing. I got a lot of warriors that can be ranked up to 10. Some can even go up to 11. If you look, I got 2 copies and 2 copies. You only need 3 copies to go to 9 star. That's why 9 star was my new goal when they added the gem summons. 10, 11, and 12, you need 2 copies. I don't count 12 star because that is a complete pay-to-win option. 11 star should be your final goal with all of these. 10 star being the minimum because you can then unlock all the skills upgrades that you have, provided that you've reached at least level 81. Which is something that I didn't realize that they did. Used to be all you had to do is get to 10 star and it unlocked the upgrades. Now apparently you have to be level 81. I don't remember when that changed. But so some of these can go to can go to 10. Some of them can go to 11. Now what that does for me is it helps me save books, but I don't exactly have a better handle on who is and isn't. So I'm going to spend the next 2 days that I have off using my resources. I have vast resources to go in and fuse these warriors up as far as possible. Here's the one gal that you get through the multi-tier PvP battle. And yes, I do have many copies of her. I got 3, so I can bring her up to at least 9 star and unlock her spicy pose, which is what I'm going to do there. But I'm going to go through the weekend, fuse these up, see who I have at 10 and 11, figure out who I need to save books on. Keep in mind, not necessarily save books on because spicy poses, but that's a completely different beast. Figure out which ones are going to be 11 that I can actually maybe just use gems to summon on, something like that. It gets a little more complicated. But yeah, guys, I'm pretty far into my goal. I did mess up on one, and that was with Ari. I took Ari to 12 star. I'm very low on books, which is a mistake. I used 600 books to get 9 copies of Ari. The reason I did that is because they got me with this beautiful warrior link crap. And I had 10 revelation stones that I've been holding on to for months, that if you bring these up to 12, because I forgot about these 2, you don't generally bring these two up to 12. Bunny you might bring up to 12, but I'm not going to pay the money to do it, so it was a mistake to waste the books, even if it is to get a 40% damage bonus off of your base attributes to one of my favorite warriors, and primary DPS is the pirate. So that's it, guys. It has taken me since I've started planning this in June. It's taken me almost a year to finally be in a position to where most of my warriors are 9-star and above by the time I get them done. That's how long it takes. And yes, it did take a bit of money throughout that time frame. It's a very difficult process, and I did skip arrivals from time to time. It's not an easy process. For new players, I just want to reiterate, your goal is to obtain the primary warriors, okay? Amphilia. There's a lot of good warriors, but P. Claudette is who you want. I will say that you do want Anarista. She is the direct counter to the fish, and I am putting that out there right now. You need Sakine, which is the fish. Okay, there are other good warriors. You want Spicy Pirate, Swift Tracer, and nobody in the dual attribute, no matter what anybody says. So let me know what you guys think, how far I've come. I've got a lot of fusing to do. It's not going to be easy taking these warriors up to 9 or 10, because I need a 9-star warrior and a 6-star version, or a 6-star warrior. The amount of warriors that I'm going to have to sacrifice to get there is going to be vast, but I have the resources. I have almost 1 million growth stones, which I'm going to go through. I have a vast amount of resources that I've been collecting over the year. I can fuse 704 random warriors. I got thousands and thousands of shards that I haven't used yet. I'm going to be able to take them up, but let me see, just out of curiosity, I have almost 7,000 advanced summons that can provide infusion fodder to help me out there. Let me know what you guys think. I know it's you look at these accounts and you probably think whale, whale, whale. No, always understand that I'm a very patient person, and it has taken a long time for me to get to this point. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Sound off. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up, and then I'll start working on other content, shorter versions of videos as well in the future. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.